icon. We're rolling. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakadash.
The brothers and apostles, great millstone that rule well, and should have warmed to the brothers on the highways and byways. When we work sincerely and faithfully and continue fighting the good fight of faith, Lord willing, we'll find that number to be delivered. But until then, we're going to come out and prophesy the downfall primarily of this kingdom, because this is the most wickedest kingdom on the planet. And the things that are now taking place, a lot of you people have no idea, man. You're being led as sheep to the slaughter, if you will. And not only are you being led to the sheep to the slaughter, the Lord has blinded you from seeing anything that's going on. All right? So we're gonna get articles, we're gonna get testimony, we're gonna get prophecies, we're gonna get all these things. We're gonna go through the Spirit. And Lord willing, may it be edifying to the masses. Shalom to all y'all who coming in. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 8 and verse 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee.
Right, the Lord said his judgment is at hand, and it's rightfully so, man. We're coming down the pipe where the Lord's going to start administering judgment throughout all the land. Not just unto the nation of Israel, but the whole world. All right? The whole world has had a part in the destruction of the children of Israel. And the whole world's going to get judged in that fashion. Ultimately to the point where when the Lord sends his son back here to destroy and build up the children of Israel and put us back in our own land, everybody's going to be under our subjection, man. Go ahead.
Then answered I and said, Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times, but at what time thou hast not showed me.
Right, Ezra had many questions to ask the Lord. And likewise, we as men of the Lord, we ponder on questions. When, Lord, when you coming back? When, Lord, when you going to come and destroy this place? When you going to take these devils down? We're just as inquisitive as Ezra was, man. And rightfully so, being men of the Lord and being fed up with the filthy conversations of this world, man. Go ahead.
Verse 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Which is key right now. Measuring the time diligently in itself. Why would you have to measure the time? What does that mean, measuring the time? Understanding what's going on around you. Understanding the time period that we're living in. A lot of you people can't understand the time period we're living in, so therefore you're walking around as blind people, man. Groping around and just trying to, wiggle your way through this kingdom. If you're in a position of having any understanding, understand this, that the Lord set up his prophets here in these last days to prophesy the downfall of all things that are coming to pass, man. All these things are going down. Primarily, this country is going to be the only country that's going to be utterly obliterated, man.
That's right.
By them thermonuclear missiles, and rightfully so. If you look around, right, all these other nations and all these other kingdoms, they at least give their people a fair share. Here in America, they put all kinds of poison in their food and don't tell you a damn thing, and don't have to tell you. They're the most wickedest entities on the planet right now. And here people just walk around like it's all gravy.
Like you said about the food, all they have to put is artificial or natural flavoring on the packaging.
That's
it's all set.
That's it.
It could be all filled with poison.
Arsenic. Touches the arsenic in there, rat poisoning, anything you can possibly imagine, they're putting in there, man. Especially these processed foods. These processed foods ain't doing you no good. They'll put it on the plate and make it look all delicious, and they'll put on the back of their cart, 100%, no preservatives, all this bullshit. Right. But deep down, they ain't telling you what's really in there, man. They don't have to.
A recent one that came out too was these fast food restaurants with the chicken. They said that wood shavings is in it for flavor.
Yeah,
Go figure.
And they was talking about those McDonald's French fries, some kind of poison in there. That if you ingest this poison, it'll slowly break down your immune system. So there's no hope, man. And this is why the Lord said, if he doesn't come back and shorten the time, there's gonna be no flesh left to be saved, man. And this shit is true. These are true statements we're making, man. Just look at what's going on. Over the past 2 years, look how many people dropped dead. And we know why they're dropping dead, but that's the agenda. They want to make sure you drop dead. They want to make sure you have to depend on them in all aspects of life, man, and living. and surviving, man. Go ahead.
And the guys that trust in the science.
Right, trusting the science, right. Your man that was on CNN, he had kicked the bucket 2 days after he had a debate with one of those doctors. One of those doctors was heavily opposed to, you know, what we know as the 19, heavily opposed, and the CNN cat was like, oh, how could you? You're misleading the people of America, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, and he made a statement, I got that stuff. 2 days later, dropped dead, see you later. So again, this kingdom is not establishing or setting up a healthy environment for you, man. Go ahead.
And when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I've told thee before,
Yep.
then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Now hold it right there. Some of those signs, give me Matthew 24. Let's check out some of those key signs. We can start at the top. Let's check out some of them key signs that we all have been warned of and been aware of, man. These signs are very important because if you don't know about the signs, now you're being told about the signs. If you don't want to take heed to the signs, the scriptures told us, whether they're here or whether they forbid, it don't matter to us. We've wiped your blood off of our hands, man. Go ahead, read that.
This is Matthew 24:1, and it says, and Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the building of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things?
That's right.
Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another.
Right, now the Lord is telling his disciples the things that are going to start coming to pass and the things that are going to be happening, which they're probably going to, be involved in. Go ahead.
It says, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
Go ahead.
Verse 3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
Right, what things were they referring to? The times of things where buildings aren't going to be standing, where people aren't going to be in good health, where all kinds of commotion and conflict is going to be going on, and he's going to start breaking it down, some of the things that they're going to have to be aware of. Likewise, we're now in tune to those things in this time period. That's why it says measure the time diligently, because most of that stuff that we're going to talk about didn't happen at that time. Go ahead.
The end of the world. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many.
And we've had that already happen. We've had many people come talking about, hey, the Lord, he's coming out of Jerusalem, and he's out there now. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
It says, it shall deceive many, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
Now we're going to measure the times that we're living in. You should hear wars and rumors of wars. But keep reading.
It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right, but the end is not yet. So when we start seeing these things come to pass in a whole, you're going to know that the end is near, as it's going to tell you. Go ahead.
It says, for nation shall rise against nation.
That's one of the signs we're looking at. We're looking at nation rise against nation. It also mentioned rumors of war. Go ahead.
It says, and kingdom against kingdom.
Another sign we're looking for. Kingdom against kingdom. Go ahead.
And there shall be famines.
That's another sign we're looking for. Famines. Go ahead.
And pestilence.
Another sign we're looking for. The pestilence. So again, he said to Ezra, measure the time diligently in itself. Now that we're seeing all these things come together as one in this time period, read on.
And it says, in earthquakes in diverse places.
Go ahead.
And all these are the beginning of sorrows.
And all these are the beginning of sorrows. Why? Because all these things are now taking place at the very same time that we speak right now, man. Back in the ancient times, there were skirmishes, and not even so much going back to the ancient times. Just coming through history during the time of, we'll say, the Cuban Missile Crisis. You didn't have as many earthquakes being done at that time. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, you didn't have that many pestilences being put out there in the earth, man. Right now, there's all types of shit. You got bird flu, swine flu, Ebola. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, man. And they wanted more to come. You see? But again, it's all being cumulatively put together. Go ahead.
Verse 8 again. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. It says, Then shall they deliver you to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
We're going through that process right now, where people hate to hear the men of the Lord. They hate to hear the Hebrew Israelites. They want to dub us as racists. They want to dub us as rapists. They want to dub us as murderers. They want to dub us as bums. Whatever the case may be, man. People hate the men of the Lord. Why? Because they hate truth in this world. This kingdom was built off lies and deceit. And lies and deceit is what generates and what keeps this kingdom going, man. Nothing but lies. Everything you've been told is a lie, man. Everything you've learned in the school system has been a lie. Everything that they've told you as you was a young child coming up is a lie. Your nationality, being an Israelite, has been a lie. African American, Puerto Rican, Mexican, so on. That's all bullshit. You see? But again, it all ties in together. In these last days, all these things are now being identified. And we're identifying with the Spirit of the Lord. Go ahead. That's it on that. Go ahead.
The second Ezra 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Right, he said earthquakes. There should be earthquakes and uproars of people in the world. Right now, you're having, what you're seeing right now, here in this kingdom, right? You're seeing a lot of the masses. You're seeing a lot of the masses. You're seeing a lot of the masses right now having conflict with the so-called refugees that are being brought from different countries. They're being housed in hotels in different cities. That's going to cause a massive uprising, man. They already hate the fact that they're jumping the fence over down in Mexico. They're climbing the wall, crossing the border in Mexico. But now, to top it off, now the government is flying different groups of people in to different countries or different communities, if you will, and then housing them in certain communities. But not only are they housing them, they're providing food, they're providing all kinds of benefits. How do you think that's going to go well with the average Edomite today, man? Who works so hard and they've got everything they've earned because they've been in the trenches and they've been working and no one's giving nothing to them. And now these people that they're Israelites, of course, the majority of these people are Israelites. Hold on, Native Americans, so-called Haitians, so-called Dominicans, they're all being brought from all different locations, man. And now you have the American people talking about, they're ruining our country. This country was down. This country was bound to be ruined. As soon as Esau came into power, the country was ruined. So what the hell are y'all talking about, man? Go, you got a precept?
No, I wanted to say that Ron DeSantis has signed a harsh immigration bill, I think down in Florida, just because of the same situation we're talking about.
Yeah, you see? I'm telling you, there's going to be a major civil war in this country, man. And let me say this too. If you think, so where I'm from, right? Where I'm from, there's they took a hotel, it used to be a Holiday Inn. It's got about 6 or 7 floors, probably over 200 something rooms in it. And they brought a lot of Levites from Haiti over to where I'm at, right? And these people are going crazy now, man. The mayor said she knew nothing about this move of bringing these refugees into her community. She knew nothing about it. But on the back end, there were people talking about, oh, well, the governor had already briefed her on it. So again, they're playing, they say Mickey the Dunce. We don't know nothing about this. And then in turn, it's going to get the people in that much more of an uproar. They're going to go, wait a minute, our governor or our mayor didn't know about it. What the hell's going on here? So it's just going to start that tumult. It's going to start it, and it's going to start fast. But you fuck around, you go around and mess around with the Haitians down there, boy. You're gonna find out the hard way. You're gonna find out the hard way. Haiti, I'm hating the Levites, man. They don't mess around. When Esau embargoed Haiti back then, who was the lead dude back then in Haiti? Well, anybody know that guy's name?
Papa Doc?
Nah. What was it? Can't remember his name. Was it? Yeah. We had it. But anyway. He led that revolution to stop Esau, man. Then Esau ended up embargoing Haiti because of what they've done. Why do you think Haiti became almost then like a third world country, man? Because Esau embarked with them. Because they won their so-called independence. All right? So let's roll.
Two more verses. This is verse 5, 2 Ezra 9 and 5. For like as all that
Toussaint Louverture. That's it. Toussaint. That's right. All Israelites. All right? And the majority of these people that are being put in these communities are Israelites. And we already know how Esau feels about us, man. And that's why you can clearly understand and know that these people that are being put in these communities are the Israelites. Everybody's always hated Israel, man. Always. Especially now that we're coming out and identifying who we are as the children of Israel. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 5, for like it's all that is in the world, so like, I'm going to read it again. For like it's all that is made in the world, hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
See that? Everything that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Meaning what? The time that we're living in, that end is coming. Give me 2 Ezra. Is it 67? 67, right? Yep.
Yeah. I said verse 6. It says,
and it said, and the end is manifest. What end? Whose end? All right? Because you got to understand, the Lord is going to set up power structures, man. And the last power structure that's being set up is going to be an everlasting power structure that's going to have no ending. It's going to have no. The word I'm looking for is defeats, if you will. It's not going to have a defeat. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 6.
It ain't going to be defeated, I should say. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 6 and verse 6. Verse 6.
Go ahead.
Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other.
Go ahead.
By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
That's why the Lord said the time is going to come where the highest is going to visit the earth in which he made. Yes. As he just stated, everything was made by him and none other, man. So who's strong enough to combat that, man? Esau ain't strong enough to get that. Ronald Reagan had made a statement, yeah, if we find out there's some other beings from another dimension of galaxy, we're gonna have to put away our differences and come together. Come together to do what? You put the death all at once? That's all you going. That's gonna be your demise, man. You ain't gonna come together to beat the Lord. Nor will you beat the men of the Lord when the Lord raises us up with that spiritual power.
That's right.
Verse 7.
Hold that. Go ahead. Give it to me.
Isaiah 31 and 3, it said, now the Egyptians are men and not God.
That's right.
And their horses flesh and not spirit.
That's right.
When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall all fall together.
You see that? They're all gonna fall together. So yeah, you can get together once you find out, because mind you, we've been telling you all this for a very long time. There's gonna come a point in time when you're gonna start seeing the chariots zooming about, you know, on a daily basis, man. You know, the Lord is beautiful in all his ways, because if it wasn't for, and I'm gonna say this, if it wasn't for the Lord putting the internet in place, if it wasn't for the Lord giving Esau the ability to create these cell phones and all these cameras, we'd be in the dark, man. We'd be in gross darkness as all others are, man. But we, the men of the Lord, through the Spirit of the Lord, we've been taken out of that darkness and brought to that marvelous light. All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the part and the sunder of the times, or where shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
You see that? There's an end coming. We talked about that in Ezra. The end is manifest, because the scriptures tell me. Give me Ecclesiastes 3.
Yeah, that's the spell on there too.
Yep.
This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 4.
There you go.
It says, one generation passeth away, and
right.
another generation cometh.
Right.
But the earth abideth forever.
See that? So when the Lord talks about the end, it's not talking about the earth. It's not talking about the worlds of all the people. Okay? We're talking about a perfectly designed rulership that has been in rulership that was creating wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth for years. That's the end. Those are those who are in that state are going to be those that are going to be constituted as the end. You see? The earth is going to abide forever, man. And when this nation goes down, the nation of Israel will be rose up or risen up, and then we're going to be rulers of the whole earth, man. Go ahead.
Precept.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is on Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. It says, in that days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed,
right.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people,
right.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms,
right.
And it shall stand forever.
That's right. That hasn't happened yet. So if you want to say that Esau is the Edomites love to boast themselves up and stick their chests out and say how great they are militarily, how great they are educational-wise, how great they are just being on the planet Earth. If you think that they are the ones that were put in place to be that everlasting kingdom, you're sadly mistaken. They can't even handle their own civil affairs. Never mind affairs of the whole world. You take America as a whole, man. This country is the worst. This country has been the worst country on the planet Earth as far as like being together as an army or one unit. This place is awful, man. Go ahead.
This is Daniel 2:20. It says, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of the Most High Power forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his.
Right.
And he changes the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding.
Right. These are the things that the Lord does, man. So has Esau been put in the stead of being wise? Yes. Esau has been put in the stead of being wise. The Lord gave him that power to do so. Esau did a lot of, listen, man, even though he's the devil, he's done a lot of great things in this country, or in this world, I should say. All right, but he was only able to do it by the permitting of the Lord. The Lord gave him that ability to do so. See, airplanes, all types of missiles. These are great things that are well established in this kingdom, man. So the Lord gave him that power. The Lord set him up. But the Lord is also going to take him down. And the Lord is in the midst of taking him down as we speak, man. Right as we speak. Go ahead.
Second Thessalonians 2 and verse 7.
Yep.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Right. Who is letting him? The Lord is letting him get his shit off right now. The Lord is giving him that power. You see? So we understand the workings of what Esau got going on. But we understand that if it wasn't for the Lord, we would have been smashed his ass, man. The elder shall serve the younger. We are stronger than them. But this thing got to play out, man. This got to play out because it's the Lord's program, not our program. It's the Lord's movie, not our movie. Think about it, man. Think about it. You look at Esau on the whole, you look at Jacob on the whole, man. We are far superior than they are. So one will say, well, why don't we all just get together and go get them? Because that's not what the Lord set up, man. You heard what happened when the Lord said, what did the Lord say about Cain? If any man lay a hand on him, the Lord's going to smash him, man. You see? And likewise, this very same thing is happening with Esau Edom. Why? Because when you go to the, give me my compact Bible dictionary. Yep, it's in that bag right there. Give me that compact Bible dictionary and look up, I believe it's Esau. Go ahead, while you get that piece of, go ahead.
All right, this
look
is
up Esau.
Deuteronomy 28:7 to back you up. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. So I was going to get that.
That's all right. All right, take your time, brother.
I gave this one right.
Go ahead.
This is John chapter 18, verse 36.
Go ahead.
Then Yahweh shall answer, my kingdom is not of this world.
Right.
If my kingdom was of this world, then my servants would fight,
Right.
that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence.
Right. And again, you don't think we are far superior than they are? Of course we are. We're stronger than them. We're smarter than them. All right? But it just so happens that we've been put in a box and we have been put into chains, if you will, because we don't have the authority to go after Esau Edom, man. Now, the reason why we don't have that authority, read this.
This is the definition for Edom. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgment.
As the scene of great future judgment. How could that take place if we were to raise up as a nation and go after Esau on our own accord? You see? The Lord said, wait ye upon me. Read on.
She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promises of mercy from the Most High Power, Yahweh.
Because the Lord's going to take them down, man. The Lord's going to take them down. And on top of that, looking at Esau's strength in this kingdom as we stand right here, we ain't strong enough to take down Esau, man. We ain't strong enough. The Lord put Esau in his stead to hold that might for a certain period of time until he moves him out of the way. You see? You got something else?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and 25. The Lord Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies.
Yep.
Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all kingdoms of the earth.
That's right. You see that?
We can't go through this.
You can't. That's right. You can't. You know? Go ahead, brother.
Psalm 75, 6 through 8. It said, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south.
Right.
But the Most High is the judge.
Right.
He put up down one and set up another.
That's right.
For in the hand of Yahweh there is a cup, and the wine is red, full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth,
Pharaoh, when he raised up Pharaoh,
all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
That's it. So it's all contingent upon the time of the Lord's time, the Lord's program. That's what it's all contingent upon, man. You don't think Russia would have been smashed America for all the shit that they've been doing? But the Lord is putting a spirit of quarrel on them right now until that appointed time. Everything has an appointed time, as the scriptures tell you. You see? But again, we are men of the Lord. Our job at this point in time is not to bear arms and fight. It's to prophesy the downfall of these kingdoms, man. Prophesy the downfall of the kings of the earth. That's our job. These words, the scriptures speak about the tongue being a deadly sword. Is pretty much most dreadful than a gun itself. Why? Because the words that you speak have power, especially being men of the Lord and being in the spirit of the Lord. The words that we speak have power. This is why they hate them that rebuketh in the gate. Because the words that we speak have power, and it cuts right to the heart. And they know it cuts to the heart. Because as we prophesy, prophecies unfold. And as prophecies unfold, these people now start to realize, oh shit, these guys was just saying that. What's going on here? So if they said that and it's coming to pass, what else have they been saying? Or what else are they saying that's going to come to pass that we should be aware of? See, people are listening, man. They're listening. And they know what we're talking about. They understand the things that we're saying. Okay? So the Lord is the one that's given the power to these kings, man. But we're going to read Romans 10.
Romans chapter 9, verse 17. For the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may show my power in thee.
Right. Didn't he do the same thing to Esau? He did the same thing with Esau, Edom, man. That's why when you go to Job 9 and 24, it says the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. So the Lord raised up Pharaoh, and he raised up Esau in that same way that the Lord can show his power. Because right now, even coming up through the 70s, coming up through the 80s into the 90s, Esau had always been boastful about his military might, his military power. So much so back during those time periods, these other nations were shook, man. Esau coming to town, these others would be trembling, especially these smaller nations, man. But now the playing field has been made level, as the scripture says, as they become as weak as us, as we. Because now everybody has that nuclear capability. Everybody has those arms, those military arms, man. You see? But again, the Lord raised up Esau so he can take him down. That's why it is written that he's going to be the great scene of prophetic judgment. Go ahead, read on.
Yep, for the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
How is the Lord going to show his power? How is the Lord going to show his power concerning Esau, Edom? How is he going to show it? By thermonuclear missiles. That's how he's going to show his power. We're the servants of the Lord. We're the servants. You don't think he could have just put the spirit on us to go and grab them up, round them up, put them in bundles? That time is also set for an appointed time when we're going to round them up and put them in bundles. But the main course, the main ingredient of Esau going down is the Lord sending them thermonuclear missiles over here, man. That's right. Yahweh Shai said to the disciples, Yahushua made a statement and said, don't you think I can pray to my Father and he will send me, was it 10 legions, 12 legions, 12 legions? Don't you think the Lord can do that and destroy Esau just like that? Destroy all these kings of the earth just like that? But the Lord's gonna make it a grand entrance, man. Why do you think, hold me Revelation 18 too, man. Why do you think the Lord made these, we're gonna read Revelation 18, but the Lord's gonna make it so that everybody knows that the Lord liveth. The way America's gonna be destroyed, you're gonna have one conclusion. You're gonna be like, damn, that's gotta be something that the Lord did. But they're gonna say, that's gotta be of God. God had to have done that. Go ahead, what you got?
I'll back you. I had it. Jeremiah 16. You want me to wait till after you bring out Revelation?
Yeah, hold that.
Come on.
Any more on that, brother?
All right, that's it.
That's it. Come. All right. Go ahead.
Oh, right. Somebody get Revelation 1 and 7.
All right, let's go. Revelation 18. Yep. Matter of fact, just start at 8. Start at 8.
Yeah. This is Revelation 18 and 8. And it reads,
no, you know what? Start at the top. Start at the top, yeah.
Come on. This is Revelation 18 and 1. It reads, it says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightning with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen. It is fallen. It has become the habitation of devils.
Now the conversation was the Lord destroying Babylon. How is he going to do that? By means of thermonuclear missiles, man. That's how this place is going down. I don't give a goddamn what anybody says. You can talk all kinds of shit because the non-believers are going to say, well, if they shoot nuclear missiles, you're going to be destroyed too, the whole earth. No, because you don't know what you're talking about. This place has been destined from the beginning. Scripture tell you that in Isaiah. Okay? Read on.
And it says, in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right.
It says, for all nations have drunken of a wine of a wrath of a fornication.
Right. Now, why would the nations drink of the fornication of America? Because America makes it taste sweet. All the activities, all the enchantments that America puts out in the earth, these other nations want to grab hold of that. Not only because they want to be a part of it, but because they know that America is a place that's going to be a prosperous thing, man. They want to be a part of that. Go ahead.
It says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundancy of her delicacies.
Isn't that what's going on right now? Aren't the merchants of the earth rich from this place?
Yep.
All these kingdoms and nations of the world are rich off of the bones and the blood of our people over here in America. We're the ones that built this bitch up, man. We're the ones that made America successful. Okay? And we're still on the grind making America successful. We all have to go to work. We all go in the trenches at work, man. Even men of 80, 78, and 80 years old still in the trenches for Babylon, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right, and the ultimate plagues that are going to hit this are them thermonuclear missiles. You can read that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, man, when it speaks about the plagues that are sent throughout the four corners of the earth, man. That's them thermonuclear missiles. So don't get it twisted, man. When the Lord said he's going to destroy this place, he's going to destroy it. And he's going to use it by means of ICBM missiles, man. That's right. That's what's going down. That's the good news. This is what we hope and pray for on an hourly, minutely basis, man. That the Lord come quickly as he said he's going to do. Behold, I come quickly and destroy this bitch.
That's right.
Because listen, man, if you just take the time to just look at the shit that you're eating, look at the shit that you're drinking, and you pretty much have no control over it. Ezekiel said, what? In the land of our captivities, we're going to eat out the foul bread. This shit is poison, man. He's slowly killing us. And there ain't a goddamn thing we can do about it. And you want to say, well, eat fruits and vegetables, but he got a hold of that shit too, man. Monsanto is playing a key role into all the manufacturing of the seeds of food products, man. There's no way out of it.
Bill Gates soon too.
The whole host, man. There's no way out of it. You ain't getting out of this to the point where, oh, we're gonna go off the grid, eat fresh food. Ain't nothing fresh over here, man. And the Lord set it up that way. How you going to try to go against the Lord? How you going to try to go against what the Lord put in place? You know, as we do though, we try to eat the best of the worst and try to, you know, sift it out a little bit. But everything we buy, everything that we consume has been tainted, man. Here in Babylon, every last thing has been tainted. You know, even though you go to Whole Foods, you can buy $400 or $500 worth of groceries, and you think you walking out there, yeah, I'm the freshest nigga in the town with your carrot. That shit ain't that. Listen, man. You know, even the word organic is a gimmick, man. That's a big gimmick right there in itself. You know. All right, let's roll.
Verse 5. It says, "For her sins had reached unto heaven, and the Most High had remembered her iniquity."
Why do you think? Listen, the wickedness and the abominations have reached up into the heavens, man. You can't get any higher than the heavens, man. It's that the Lord is in the heavens looking down like, God damn, Dad, you know, he's looking on the right hand, Dad, please, let me go down and smash these devils. Because we are all hanging in the balance out here, man. We're all hanging in the balance, and it's gonna get a hell of a lot worse. Go ahead.
It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you."
That's right. Reward her even as she rewarded you. And if you look at the history of our people, we have never had anything good. One of the brothers and I were talking a little earlier, right? Talking about Esau says, we want America to get back to normal, right? America needs to get back to normal. That's what they want. Normalcy. Well, going back to normal for the Israelites has always been heartache, heartbreak, death, sickness, everything. So even if it does go back to normal, some kind of normal, we still aren't going to benefit from that shit, man. We in the same condition even before the shit went south. We in the same condition. But not only that, it has gotten worse because of the actions that we're taking. So therefore, you sit there and talk about normal, going back to normal. Do you think that going back to normal, you're gonna breathe a breath of fresh air now? Woo, phew, that was close. We're back to normal now. We've always suffered over here, man. We've never had anything easy. We never was given a break over here, man.
I got a quick research.
Go ahead.
It's Hebrews 13 and 14. It says, "For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come."
That's right. We seek one to come. When we seek it, when we hasten that city come, man. Because we getting tired over here dealing with the shit that we deal with on a daily basis. You know, what does Scripture say about Lot? Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Lot was in that spirit where he was just like, God damn, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And so much more now. Israelites right here in this world, Israelites, they have sunk to an all-time low, man. They've sold their souls for fucking peanuts, man. For fucking peanuts. People sell their soul just to get their TikTok program or what's the other one? Instagram? Is it Instagram? They sold their soul just for an Instagram account, man. That's how low the Lord's people have gotten down. And that's why the Lord got to come and clean this bitch up, man. All right, let's roll.
Daniel 7 and 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. He shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High. God don't exist. I'm God. I sit in the seat of God and wear out the saints of the Most High. Listen, man, we only hanging on because the Spirit of the Lord that's having us hang on. I'm amazed at you jakes in the world who don't have the Spirit of the Lord upon you. You are going to go out the hard way, man. And it doesn't have to be like that. But again, everything and everybody is appointed to a certain lot. And if that's your lot to go out the hard way, then listen, I ain't arguing with that. That's between you and the Most High. All right, go ahead.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of the time.
That's right.
But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
That's right. They will take away his dominion to consume and destroy it to the end. So it's only but a short time left, man. There's only but a short time left. Go ahead. You got something? You got something?
Yeah. Ezekiel 28 and 4. It said, with your wisdom and with your understanding, you has gotten you riches, and has gotten gold and silver into your treasures. By your great wisdom and by your traffic has you increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches.
That's right.
Therefore doth say the Lord Yahweh, because you have set your heart as the heart of the Most High, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon you, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of your wisdom, and they shall defy your brightness. They shall bring you down to the pit. You shall die the death of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Will you yet say before him that slayeth you, I am the Most High? But you shall be a man in no power in the hand of him that slayeth you. You shall die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken, saith Yahweh.
That's right. Now, when you read the book of Obadiah, it talks about all those that were in Confederacy that turned against me. And then when you go into the book of Jeremiah, the Lord said, what? Shoot at her, surround her from all sides, and shoot the missiles at her. So all these kingdoms and all these nations are going to come up against her. And the Lord set it up perfectly, that they're going to surround her about in a perfect formation, where there's going to be no escape for anybody over here, man, except those that get delivered by the chariots. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 51:1.
That's it.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashir, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a devouring, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon famines that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
Hold it right there real quick. That shall empty her land. What have we been telling you? We've been telling you that America's going to be totally eviscerated, man. And you can go back to Malachi, the first chapter, the fourth chapter. You can go back to Malachi alone, and it speaks about what the hell's going to go on over here as far as this place is burning, man. All right, continue on.
Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow.
Again, an archer, a bow. We know in this kingdom that the military talks about broken arrows. What's an arrow? A nuclear missile. What's an archer? What's a bow? You need a bow to shoot an arrow. Those silos where the missiles reside are the archers, are the arrows, are the bows, brother. They're the bows. And when the Lord sets it up that time comes, when them thermonuclear missiles are going to be shot, they are going to be shot without any hesitation, man.
That's right.
It's a wrap. There's nothing anybody can do. So enjoy yourselves now, because America is going to be burnt to an utter crisp. Thus saith the Lord. Hold on, brother. Go ahead.
Verse 3 again. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine.
Brigandines meaning army. Because what? The theory was the few, the proud, the Marines, the army of one, the greatest, the best, the baddest. Who lifted themselves up in their brigandine? They lifted themselves up. So now they're going to suffer. When you go to 2nd Ezra, it speaks about when the Lord's going to set that war up and send those troops over there to get drafted in the military. They're not coming back over here, man. Once that Third World War truly and utterly kicks off, and these troops get sent over there by them big B bombers, whatever the hell them planes are, B-50, whatever them shits are, they ain't coming back over here, man. They're going to die right over there. And anybody that's in this land is also going to succumb to them thermonuclear missiles, which we're talking about. Go ahead.
And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
You see that? Spare ye not her young men, destroy utterly all her hosts. So anybody that's going to represent the United States military is going to get destroyed. Because it said he lifted himself up in the brigandine. That means his military. So all of them going to get destroyed. All of them. It's not going to be one lone surviving Edomite. You know that's Mark Wahlberg from Boston. He played lone survivor. There's always got to be an Edomite that comes through the dust. I made it, guys. You know, I'm here. There's always got to be one. But the scripture says there's going to be one spared, man. Not one. So you can join this military if you want to, if you're an Israelite. We don't give a damn about the heathens, Esau. Let them join all that want. Right. But you Israelites, you're being warned, man. You're given fair warning. You know, and Esau, and I believe, and it's just my belief, I believe what Esau does is he'll get these movies like Lone Survivor and Black Hawk Down just to get the people riled up, just to get their spirits like, oh, I want to go fight. Because that's what you had in 9/11. 9/11 hit, you had Esau, they couldn't fucking They couldn't close the door at these recruitment centers, man. Esau was charged up, man. Fucking dude, my country, that was all charged up, man. Yeah. And then they go over the basic training, come back, they got their hat on, ready for duty, mom. Ready to go fight for my country. And go over there and get all shook up. Dude, you're shooting at me. You're pushing me from underneath the table.
Giving that PTSD.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But then you had those troops that came back that realized they've been duped, coming back, giving their medals off. I served in the army for 2 years over in Iraq, and I denounced the military. They pulling their medals off, throwing them back, you know. So there was some vision in some of them because they understood that they've been lied to.
Oh yeah, but I say my woman's friend's husband was in the military. He was talking to me one day. And it's funny, everything that you're saying, he said to me. So he said, like, when he went over there to Iraq, they used to sit him in a room, show him all these type of videos to make them
charge
like,
him up.
To make them like hate and things like that. Then he said he realized, like you just said, when he got out of the military, he was like, man, that shit was all bullshit.
The oldest trick in the book, man. That's the oldest. Take the dumbest kid on the block who used to steal everybody's bike, take him like, hey, yo, man, look, show him, give him the old reverse psychology. You take this bike, I'll take this bike. That bike's better because it got a better seat. Niggas like, oh yeah, but that's just that reverse psychology, man. Dumb, you can fool dumb people, man. And not only that, but when they go into the military, they're indoctrinized and I'm gonna use this word, they're brainwashed to a certain degree where they project an enemy in your mind, and now that's all you want to do is go get that enemy. And that's what they did with 9/11. They said, oh, the Arabs, they took the planes down and they hijacked this and that. Now, you fire hot enough to burn the building. Right, couldn't burn the
passport.
Passport on the ground, sitting there. Esau walked over. Esau was like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. Look, it's Algeria Muhammad. You know, some bullshit, man. Some real bullshit. But this is the MO of America. That's why they're known as the devil, the deceiver, man. The deceiver. And they've done a great job deceiving the masses. Come back to Jeremiah.
It's Jeremiah 51 and verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through, in the streets. It says, verse 5. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
Right, this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, man. We're living in that time of the Lord's vengeance. This is that time that we're living in, all right? He's going to render unto her a recompense. Why? For all the abominations and the wickedness that it has done. And again, you don't have to go very far. You ain't got to look very hard. Just look at what he done to the Native American Indians, man. Look what he done to the natives. There's no reason why. And then they got the audacity to say all men are created equal. They came over here killing Native American women, Native American babies, because they knew that if the men were out to war, they can savage the villages. Only a coward would do some shit like that, man. Right? Only a coward would destroy Native American children and women because the men are out hunting buffalo.
Yeah.
Bunch of punk asses.
What's that one that they had? They was like basically they surrounded them and had them come out like the tents and they just.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch.
Yeah,
man.
I can't remember. It was one of them.
Yeah,
it was fucked up though.
These devils have done so much you can't even keep track of who did what, how many times they've done it, man. Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
All right, so we understand and know that the workings of America, aka Babylon, the workings of this place have been through the hand of the Lord. As it is written, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So the Lord also has orchestrated everything that we see and everything that we've encountered thus far in this kingdom, man. So we understand that. And we understand that it's going to take the Lord to come and truly decimate this kingdom, man. Go ahead. And now read that, start yeah.
Verse 7 again. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand,
Right.
that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine.
Hold it right there. The nations have drunken of her wine. And this is what it means by the nations have drunken of its wine. All these other countries, they got all these fast food. McDonald's was an American thing. Burger King was an American thing. All these things that are going on here have now spread over to the other countries. And they're profiting off of these mechanisms, if you will. So now for the nations have gotten to the point where their people have become Americanized, right? Doing Americanized things, being like the Americans. And America is the dumbest planet on the country, man. The dumbest country on the planet, man. Yeah, you know, I'm a little tongue-tied, mouth is dry. But if you think about it, look at the educational rate of America. Kids they don't know shit, man. They don't know a damn thing of what goes on. But anyway, it's gonna be destroyed. Go ahead.
Right. It says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
That's why the nations are mad, because they've drunken of that wine. All right? And they've watched their communities, if you will, their countries start to go south. Using that American currency, the reserve dollar, the world's reserve currency, America, has absolutely lied, stole, raped, robbed, and did everything imaginable to these other countries. Reneged on deals, talked about we're going to give you this much and gave them much less than what they promised. That's why these nations are mad. And it's going on to this very day. And this is why these BRICS nations are coming together. Because they don't want to be under the guise of the American dollar anymore. Why do you think they're going to give it up? Right? And do you think then America's going to say, we're going to sanction you? We're going to sanction you? How? When they have no more ties to your dollar bill anymore. So that's going to be another downfall, for another blow to the American system. The ability to sanction people, where America could go in and say, Iran, you're creating, nuclear energy, we're going to sanction you. That's just done. These other nations are done. And you would also think that these South American countries would be on board with America. Go ahead.
I got an article real quick. This is from RTnews.com. It says how Russia's sanctions spark global revolt against U.S. dollar.
You see that? How Russian sanctions sparks global revolt. Now, what's going to happen? Russia's going to get China. They're going to get Korea. They're going to get Iran. They're going to get Venezuela. They're going to get whatever other countries that are involved. 81 altogether.
I just read another article too, right after this one. It says Honduras is also applying for the BRICS too.
Right. All these nations applying to become a part of that BRICS nation. And then what's going to happen? It's going to be kaput for American dollar, man. And watch your food price. You people mark our words, man. And we've been saying this through the Spirit of the Lord from the head apostles and other brothers throughout the world. Once this dollar goes to shit, you're going to really find yourself in a real bad quagmire, man. Food-wise. Now, the elder brother here, he said to me earlier, he goes, just be prepared for a famine. He said, I'm only going by from what I see. Now, the brother plants his own crops in his own garden. He said, but what? Nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming up. And this is in a yard, in a garden where a man is diligent and right about the things he's growing. Can you imagine on a global scale what's going on with these crops? What's going on with the land? Okay, all these pesticides and all these chemicals that they're spraying on the land can't sustain itself. Look at the topsoil in these gardens. Look at the topsoil. You can't grow nothing off this land. The damn near grass, it's not even grass, it's all weeds now. And now they got their hydro seeds where they gotta manufacture this shit and blow it all over the place. It's America. It's America. That's it. Welcome to America. I don't even think Eddie Murphy will come back to this bitch shit. I don't think Eddie Murphy will come back, man. Bye, America.
This is Obadiah 1 and 8.
Oh, are you finished on that? Yeah, let me get a little more on that.
It says an increasing number of nations have been shunning the greenbacks in trade settlements. The number of international agreements aimed at abandoning The U.S. dollar in trades has been growing lately.
We've been saying it, man. We've been saying, and again, we're not trying to take credit. We're not trying to take credit for saying what we're saying. We're prophets. We're just mere servants of the Lord, man. And a prophet says things before they happen. That's all we're doing. So the fact that the 81 nations are going to get together, and what other nations are applying for that BRICS entrance to that community, if you will, they're all gonna come together, and it's all gonna come to a head, man. It's all gonna come to a head. So it's just a matter of time, man. Y'all sit tight. Y'all sit tight, sit back, and watch the festivities unfold, because it's gonna be a doozy, man. America recently raised its debt ceiling. How many times can it raise its debt ceiling without paying off old existing debt? You putting more debt on top of more debt. What does the scripture say? He laden himself with heavy clay, thick clay. That's America. The debt is I mean, you know what? But I can see it though. They just like, fuck it. Just raise them. Fuck it. We already going down. We know we going down. Raise it. Go ahead, bro.
Elder, you have people thinking it's a good thing, but when you look into it, when you raise the debt, you actually put doubt in the dollar. Interest rates are now higher, and there's still job losses. So they said if they didn't, there would have been 2 million job losses, but since they did, it's going to be 1 million now.
Right. It's basically a gradual crash. That's all.
Yeah.
You do it in piecemeal. You do it little by little until it gets to a point where now you can flip the switch. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking about this earlier. We talked about this before, but the Snickers bar don't have new nougat. Right. It's the same nougat that it was when we was paying 25 cents for a bar. Now it's $1.35 for a Snickers bar. Right. And it's like that with everything. Housing is like that. Clothing is like that. Food is like that. Everything has gone up. And it's just an indicator of the strength of the dollar. And once that dollar goes kaput, you're gonna find out, how
Just like Homeboy before Nightmare Before Christmas.
How strong, or let me say this, how weak America actually is.
Right. Because we understand, again, Scripture says we ought to have an unction to know all things. Now, we don't profess ourselves to be true, thorough financial advisors, but we have enough study to understand the financial situation. Enough good sense, and enough common sense, which is not always so common. So therefore, we have the ability to prophesy about these things and warn you people about these things. And it don't take a rocket science to realize that when you go into the fucking store, as the elder was saying, when you go into the store and try to buy something, your dollar's not getting you very far these days. Okay? So that's a clear indication that there's smoke in the room right now.
Exchange when you go to another country. Currency exchange, right? There used to be a time when you could take the dollar to a third world country or some other country and get a good return on your investment set, right? Yeah. So if you bring $1, you get $1.50 $1.75. Now, like the days of putting your money in an offshore account, there's no point in it.
And that's what now, and some of these rich people, that's what they would do. They would take their money and go to these other countries and get more back on a return in that currency and have their house over there and have all that shit over there, you know, because that dollar was so strong.
I want you to put this much in the Swiss account,
right,
this much in that account.
Right.
But those days are long gone, man. The purchasing power of the dollar is dwindling away. And it's all in preparation for the RFID. It's all in preparation so that that financial, let me say it this way, so that the currency can be digital.
Yep. Read a little bit more. Yeah, go ahead.
I got something. Habakkuk 2:6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long into him that ladeth himself with clay?" Right. So when you go into the Hebrew word for clay, there is speaking about debt, right? So that's how we know. Like, it's not going to blatantly say America. It's not going to blatantly say this party or that party. But you go into those different context clues, and that's one of them. It's going to be a place that ladeth itself with thick clay, which means immense debt. And
we like the elder just said, they've just recently raised the debt ceiling, right? So there was this rumor going around that first week of June, they were gonna pull the plug, and it was heavily predicated on whether or not they were gonna raise the debt ceiling. And so now they've done that, they've raised the debt ceiling, but really what you're doing is just, again, slowly deteriorating that dollar. Yeah, like the brother said, kicking the can. You know?
I might add too, when you go into that word play, it goes into like promises. When you look at what the debt is basically a promise to pay back some money that's already been divvied out. And also when you go into clay, when you go into the denarius, the Roman dollar, what they did was they added clay to the coins, and what that did was inflated it. So what you see with the American dollar being printed at a rapid rate is causing inflation. Like you said, when I was growing up, a dollar got you a Snickers, 25% bag of chips, and
Teeny?
juice.
Yeah, the huggy.
Or you could get the penny candies or the 5 cent candy, whatever. You could spend it. In other words, your dollar went a long way. Now you could barely get a bag of chips with a dollar. It's like
$1.25.
Dollar, no, more than that. No, it's $2.50.
Back in the day, the house
for the little bag?
in Dorchester famous for those triple deckers, but 500,000 was seemed to be a lot back in that time. But now, $1 million, you need $1 million to sit at the table. This is for the worst neighborhood in Boston, so inflation is kicking in. But slowly, but you can say slowly but surely, but there's hyperinflation. I went to the store the other day, there was a gallon of milk, and they wanted $7 for it. That's hyperinflation. But what they're doing is, there's a lot of bread and circus, a lot of distraction that's going on, and people are just going about. They're not really paying attention to what's going on around.
Yeah, Janet Jackson's on tour.
Yeah. Oh, Janet.
Beyonce's on tour, right? So that's their primary concern. So things that matter most to the average person, they don't think about, they don't care about, because they're too busy trying to, live their life. Buying Gucci bags, and, fancy vehicles, and all these different kinds of things that really don't mean anything to anybody.
Ultimate, if I can't add, you even had, I believe it was last year or the year before, the refrigeration truck dude that gave the warning. He said, I'm spending $1,800 at the pump. He said it's gonna affect your milk in the store. So it's like, fast forward now, even on that level, they were trying to give warning that people wasn't taking.
It's all connected, man. We don't think much about supply chain, but because the reason why we don't is because we can go to the grocery store, we can get our milk, and get our meat, right? You can get your potato chips or whatever it is you get from the grocery store. But there's a whole chain of events that have to happen in order for your meat and your groceries to get delivered to that grocery store. And any little rift in that system can cause the prices to go up, right? And any price fluctuation, it could crash the whole market, because it's right now. What's that scripture? Isaiah 36.
Yeah,
where it says you lean on
36 and 6.
36 and 6. That's it. Yep.
Oh, Elder, real quick. Everything that you're talking about, because it's all about destroying the dollar.
Yep.
We all know this, but I'm gonna read it again. It says CNBC. It said long-awaited Fed digital payment system to launch in July.
Yep.
And I'm gonna read one sentence. It said, Fed now, the Federal Reserve, digital payment systems will debut in July.
Right. You see, so it's all together. Yep. As you see the value of the dollar going down, right? You're gonna see the increase of digital purchase. Well, you already see it. You got they got Apple Pay on these phones, right? Now you can do it with if you got what they call
Apple Watch,
smartwatch. Yep. It's already happened. It's already getting you into the rhythm of things, the conditioning of things, right?
Tap and go.
What's that scripture there? You got that?
Isaiah 36.
Yep.
Isaiah 36 and verse 6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed. On Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it.
So it's a staff of a broken reed, right? So it's like a chair that got a loose leg. You put all your weight on it. What's going to happen? Them legs are going to come from underneath it, right? So you're like I said, you're going to see the true strength of America, which there isn't any. But once you start to see a nation come apart at the seams morally, that's when you know it's over. So, because they don't even care enough about this country to have a moral compass even, right? So let alone the financial market, but those all things go hand in hand. Because
if you can break a nation down morally, and you can break a nation down financially, you can do anything to the people.
Yeah.
You can do anything to them. If I offer you, okay, you're in say dire straits, your mortgage is 3 months behind, which if you've gotten that far behind your mortgage, you might as well just give me a house. But let's say you're 3 months behind on your mortgage, and they say, hey, well, you know, we can help you get out of this situation. They got this new thing that they're trying out, this RFID technology, and they're giving homeowners a 6 months grace period, right? People are gonna take that lock, stock, and barrel, right? A gift destroys the heart, right? So once those things start happening, then people's lives are in shambles. They'll take those things gladly. In the beginning, there'll be some resistance, right? But when all hell breaks loose and everything is coming apart at the seams, people are going to be in line to get that mark of the beast.
Hey, if I can add, Elder,
yeah, absolutely.
COVID-19 proved just that. You had the people that were so dead set against COVID. You had the people that was waiting for a shot to arrive. And then some of the people that was dead set, they were only dead set until it was time to your job mandated you to get it. And then that's when it was like, I don't want to get it, but what am I going to do? I have this government job, or my job mandated me to get it. And then they got it. And you had the people that was dead set. They said they didn't care about their job. But it's the same thing with the RFID microchip. You're going to have people that's going to be against it until that hour of temptation comes and they decide how they're going to feed their children. And they'll get it. But the ones that's going to be dead set, you're going to need the Spirit of the Lord on you. Absolutely. That's why I say he's going to protect you from that hour of temptation. You're going to need it.
When I first got into the truth, you know, my friend group kind of was like, what are you doing? So, America's going to be destroyed, blah, blah, blah. You know, I went through the whole gamut, right? And, they would clown me about it. So after a while, I just, I would hang around them, but I wouldn't mention anything about the scripture. So when they were let's say the juice came out, right? And jobs were starting to require that their employees get that juice. One of my friends started coming around. He started showing up, started texting me, "Hey man, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a while, man. I miss you, man. I miss you." Wow. So he showed up, right? We sitting at the crib, right? And he said, so has your job, mandated it yet? And I was like, nah. He said, well, what are you gonna do? I guess they're gonna have to fire me. I'm not gonna quit. They're gonna have to fire me to get rid of me. He looked at me. He was like, man, I thought for sure you got all these kids. You got your lady. I thought for sure that you would break. Not me, man. Not me. And sure enough, as soon as his job told him that he was good and he had to get it, I ain't heard from him since. I ain't heard from him since, maybe once or twice here and there. Yeah. So that's. But the point is, when people are frightened, if you can get people afraid, if you can remove their moral compass and you can put them in financial straits, you can make them do whatever you want them to do.
People in fear population is an easily controlled population.
Yep. And this is what Order Ab Chaos was all about. You create this chaos, right? And then you give them the solution.
I got it. Let me say this real quick. Note of this. Whenever, and it's very soon, I believe, whenever they switch to that digital currency, people better start trembling, man. Because your life is going to be turned upside down into such a manner where you don't know where you're going to be coming or going if we're going to eat the next week. People better get serious, man. The Israelites better get real serious, because the day they implement that digital currency, that old shit, that dollar bill is going to be out of here. You ain't going to be able to go to the ATM. You ain't going to be able to go to the store. Whatever shit you got is going to be done. So in that moment, when that window is open, and that moment comes, man, then you're going to find out who you really are, man. You're going to find out. No, go ahead.
You think it's a mistake that most jobs these days have direct deposit? There was a time where you could get a paper check at work, right? You get your paper check, you go down to Harbor One or wherever bank you was at, and you would cash your check, you put a little 25 in the savings, but you can't
sign the back of that.
Yeah. And now those days are gone, man. Now everybody got direct deposit. That's not a mistake. That's not by chance. That's not an accident. Everybody has direct deposit, so there's no paper changing hands, right? So now it's all on the computer. Everything that is yours, all your assets, right, in cash are on a computer screen.
I was about to say,
It's convenience. It was all convenience.
Yeah. That's how they sold
Oh, you
it.
want direct deposit? Like, no way, you ain't
You
got
ain't
to
gotta
no
go
more
to the
paper,
bank.
you have to sign. And most of us, like, yeah, I'll take direct deposit, sure. It's right in there. You think you're the talk of the town. Yeah, I get direct deposit. Oh, you crazy? You better get direct deposit. You know?
See, that's why I got direct deposit. See,
It was a survey question. And the survey question was said, name this thing 95% of the people used in the 90s, and now only 5% of the people use, and that's what it was. It was checks.
Yeah.
It was checks. So it just goes to show you how in the 90s, checks was a normal thing.
Yeah, even-
you write
even-
somebody a check.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
transfer money, you write them a check.
Money
or
orders,
or your job.
Yeah.
It was normal. You got a check.
For so much so, they started to embed that in your mind by those commercials.
Yeah.
They had the commercial where the ladies at the front of she got to the line, she took out her checkbook, motherfuckers are like, oh my God, really? You know, she's sitting there doing all this shit. It's like, eliminate the checks, go direct deposit, cashless, whatever, man.
Yeah, my job won't allow you to because I didn't have a bank account. So they was giving me checks.
They give you a card.
Well, yeah. So I'm like, I'll give you my check. Can I go right to the bank and you get the full amount? So I'm like, I don't care. It's a big deal or whatever. They're like, oh, we can't keep doing this. What do you mean you can't keep doing this? We got to give you a card. And I'm looking, I don't want your card. Your card, it's $4 to split it and stuff like that. But I say that to say that there's a store that I went into, they no longer take cash. And you got to think to yourself, why would you not take cash? If you're a business owner, I'm taking whatever means and method, let's do it. Coins, pennies, whatever, but why would you implement a policy that says that at a restaurant/bar, we don't take cash? Because they're getting incentives to push this. Everybody's getting these incentives to push the line because they're all in cahoots. All these companies are owned by major corporations that own the same thing. You know, you'd be surprised of what companies, Johnson and Johnson, companies that you think rival each other, they're all owned by the same people. So they're all in cahoots.
Oh, yeah, Second Ezra 6:22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be found empty.
This is quickly. This is something that's going to happen, you know, suddenly. The scriptures say what? Suddenly. Because, like what the elder was saying into, there's a global economy regardless of what everybody, what America wants you to think. Everything's not produced here in America. All right, America, even things that are produced in America, they have to go certain places to get the materials that they need. So this is a, and when you see what the nation of BRICS formulating, they're trying to circumvent the American dollar because they want to sanction-proof their economy. They want to inflation-proof their economy because if you rely on the dollar and everybody's playing by the same rules, and then the American government goes and says, okay, we're going to print more money, all right, and then what is that going to do? That's going to inflate the dollar, so they're sitting there stuck, man. Yeah. Their $100 is not as, doesn't go as long as it went before, but they know that printing money is the wrong thing to do.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, so what it also talks about the nations are angry because they drunk of that wine. So after a while, they're going to regurgitate what it is that's being shoved down their throat, which is, it starts with the American dollar. It starts with that petrodollar. So what are they trying to do? They're going to circumvent it. Because at first it was fine and dandy, right? We'll have the American dollar as the reserve currency just so long as it's backed by gold, because what gold does is it balances out the inflation. It ensures that your money was valued and to be backed by something. But if it's backed by nothing and it could just be printed, that's somebody rigging the game. And that's exactly what they do. As soon as you think you're taking 2 steps forward, you're really taking 2 steps back because this person is just back here printing more money, making himself more rich, hogging up all the assets, buying up all the stocks and things of that nature, keeping you what? Dead poor. See, like you have a job right now today, you get paid $20 an hour. That ain't nothing nowadays. Now, depending on where you are and what part of Babylon you're in, because there's people in Louisiana that looks at $20 an hour and say, shit, that's a lot of money. Right, you come to Massachusetts, $20, you legit, I seen a sign during the time of the height of COVID that was McDonald's starting at $20 an hour. Yeah. So that $20 an hour in Massachusetts or in Boston isn't gonna go as far as it would when it used to go. And this is the thing, the problem that people have. We look at the inflation numbers as opposed to the amount that they're paying. It doesn't add up. It doesn't match up.
It's still the same $7.50 as always been, or $3. I think we're in the top 10 most expensive states.
No, well, Boston is
It's like second or third.
It was 3, but it surpassed San Francisco. Now it's New York and Boston.
No, I was gonna say it's like the opposite down south because you have the cost of living that's so low, but then they have like the pay rate is like
Right.
you know what I mean?
It's down low as well too.
Down low, yeah.
So it balance.
You got a lot of black people that moved to Atlanta years ago.
Yep.
There's just a big influx of people moving from the northeast down into Atlanta, all to find out that them houses for $100,000, but you was making about $4.50 an hour.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's why the scripture saying that this is not your rest. And no matter where you go.
No matter where you go, you're gonna find that. You're gonna find that pain. So you have these nations that are formulating together, all right, trying to come up against the big bad bully, man. Because really, when you think about it, it's Esau. It's Esau and his select states like South Korea and Japan, and that's it. It's Western Europe and America versus the rest of the world, and their job is to keep the rest of the world at bay, to keep them poor, to keep them fighting one another, while they sneak in the back and extract their resources, and they get rich. They live like this over here, but over there it's all fucking hell, man. It's a third world country. It's people starving. It's poor people. It's no electricity. There's no sewage.
Now I was gonna say all of that's gonna be a witness against him, man. The unrighteous decree, the draconian law, them hoarding all the resources and gold and silver all to themselves. All that's gonna be a witness to.
Right, and it's all evidence that's gonna be used, right, in a court to convict them for the crimes that they committed against humanity, man. When the scripture say that, what that scripture says, the Lord is going to inquire.
I got you.
Yeah, and make inquisition.
Second Ezra 6 and 19.
Yep.
I'll go up.
Yep.
Second Ezra 6 and 18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Go ahead.
And will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
Well, inquisition is to inquire. When you inquire about something, and it mentions the word injustice. Well, justice is something, to be justice, to be what? To be fair, to be equitable. So when you consider the earth and how the Heavenly Father designed it, He made enough space for us all. He made enough seeds for us all to grow food, for us all to live peacefully, right, amongst one another. But with the resources, with the animals, with the trees, with the oxygen, with everything that we need naturally, all right, to sustain ourselves and to take care of ourselves, right. When you look at the balance, right, of wealth and the balance of power, it's always leaning tilted toward one nation, while these people live deliciously and the rest of the people starve, man. So the world is getting together and scratching their head, and then they're finally starting to realize what the big problem is, man. The problem starts with here in America, Babylon, right? And then you have that war, that rise of beasts, right? And then the beasts concerning these other nations, which basically take after Babylon, and their poison has sucked the earth dry, man. Go ahead, bro.
You want more on that?
That was it. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8, and it reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, and the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah, so here, unrighteous dealings, man. And how do we determine what's righteous and what's wicked, what's good, what's bad? We have a moral compass, which is the scriptures. So we go to the scriptures and we use that as a guide, as a tool to determine what to do and what not to do, right? What to eat and what not to eat. Right? Who you can sleep with and who you can't sleep with, right?
Don't worry about it.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. Take your time. You have a good time as well. The horses are in captivity, right? Behind bars, literally behind bars, right? Running on a stone, right? But these are some of the things that we are signed. What's that? The first chapter. Give me that real quick. These are some of the things we signed cry about. Go ahead, bro.
This is James 5:4. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your field."
Can you start at the top, Baba Kashem?
This is James 5:1.
Yep.
Go to now, ye rich men,
Yep.
weep and howl for your misery.
Yeah, the scripture say, "Go to now, ye rich men, and weep and howl, all right, for your misery." Go ahead.
That shall come upon you.
Well, there's actual charts that you could look at the difference of the wealth of the so-called white man or European or average American, if you will, and the so-called black, Native American, and Hispanic man. All right, so the wealth gap is widening and widening, right? That also is a witness as to who the scripture is talking about, right? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten.
Yeah, their riches are corrupted and their garments are moth-eaten. Corruption goes back to iniquity, which goes back to a sin. So when you look at how America built, obtained, and kept her wealth, it was through sin, right? It was through the transatlantic slave trade, right? Which when they look at the numbers and rivals, I think they compared it to like Amazon, they compared it to IBM, they compared it to these just to put it into perspective, these Fortune $500 companies, and the wealth that they've accumulated from slavery surpassed that 10 times, man. 10 times, all right? So how did they get America? They got it through stealing, right? That's against the law, right? Basic. Thou shalt not steal. You don't even need to be a Christian or a believer in the Bible to know that it's wrong to steal, right? They got it by killing, right? They got it by killing Gad, right? Underneath the concrete is the blood of our people, right? That's how America was acquired, man. And war after war after war, peace treaty after peace treaty after peace treaty broken, right? This is how America was established. Go ahead, bro. What you got real quick?
This is verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered,
Yep.
and the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
Yeah, so you have Americans that flaunt their wealth, right? But that wealth is going to be a witness against you, man. Because when it's inquired on how you obtained it and how you got it, right? That's stolen property. Even in America, you don't have to steal something. There's a law that's called receiving stolen property. So if a crackhead goes into Macy's and steals something and tells you, hey, I stole this from Macy's, I'm gonna give it to you at a discounted price, even though you still got it, you didn't steal it, you're still in possession of stolen property knowingly. Yeah. So these people are all knowingly in possession of stolen property. So the Heavenly Father is going to hold them accountable for it. Go ahead, bro.
And ye shall eat your flesh as it was fire, and have heaped treasures together for the last day.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. It shows doomsday bunkers where Esau is taunting and flexing about his gold, you know, flexing about their bunkers that they built, their storage facilities, and how they got bug out bags and things of that nature for the last days, man. Go ahead, bro.
Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is kept back by fraud, cries of them which have reaped the entrance into the heirs of the Lord of Sabaoth.
Well, we elect this because the brother Bunwell would just talk about how he works a full-time job and then a part-time job. He leaves his full-time job to go to his part-time job just to stay afloat. But you're hearing more and more Americans saying, I got to pick up another job, or I got to do a little Uber on the side, or do a little Instacart on the side, or I need a little side hustle because the currency that you bringing in is just not enough to keep up with the bills that's going out, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and have wanton. Ye have nourished your heart as in the day of slaughter.
Yeah, these people have lived in pleasure on earth, right? Meanwhile, there's another people that are suffering on the earth, man. All right, brothers is getting their lights cut off, right? Brothers is getting eviction notices, right? Late on car payments, can't pay their car insurance. You got to pick and choose month to month on who's not gonna get paid, man. And you never could get it. You never could get ahead. Nowadays, time moves by so fast. It seems like the first of the month come every two months. So you like, damn, I just paid you motherfuckers, and then you calculate and you're going through the math, and you like, damn, it's the first already. All the bills in 1 week. Yeah, you get overwhelmed, man. You almost want to get broken down, right? But look how fast it takes them to send 100 billion to Ukraine, right? So Tupac's they got weapons, they got money for war, but can't feed the poor. That holds true to this day, man. They'll pass money quick, fast, in a hurry, but they'll argue about giving you a little $1,200 stimulus package, right? They got. Look at what they had to do, right? We don't get into the politics. Every now and then you do, but look at this: the so-called sacrifices they had to make in order to pass the debt ceiling, right? So people with Section 8, you might want to look into the law that they just passed, right? People that are on government assistance, everything that you knew, that lifestyle that you knew, is now going to change. For instance, you got to have work searches and work obligations if you on Section 8. You got to look into it. But I say that to say, they have no issue with the poor, tax write-offs for the rich. They have no issue writing a check when it comes to giving it to their interest, but it's always something with the poor. These people are evil. Go ahead.
I got one.
Oh wait, he had one first, and then you could go ahead.
Oh no, I had John 10 and 10 because of what you was going into earlier.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it up.
It says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Hey, when I was growing up, my mom used to leave the house, and she'd be like, if a white person come to the door, do not answer my door, because they were coming to do what? It was DCF, it was the fucking police, it was a caseworker, it was something bad. Yeah, somebody a bill collector. Esau, the land, right? When Esau came knocking at the door, it wasn't nothing good. It could have been a Mormon coming to take away, coming to introduce you. Get here with a pamphlet. Do you know Jesus Christ? And some blonde head, Oh, Renaissance. Earrings.
See the truck outside, look out the window like.
Yeah, but at the point was, man, the thief come not but to steal and kill, man. Esau coming to see what he could take or see who he could kill. That's the mind frame of Esau Edom, man. When you around that white supremacist, he's thinking of ways to kill you, man. Esau's thinking of ways to take something from you that you got or to kill you. Right?
This is on Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1.
Yeah.
And it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Well, a decree is a law. So woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Go ahead, bro.
To turn aside the needy from judgment.
Yeah, to turn aside what we're in need of is justice. That's why when the scriptures say when the Lord come back, he's going to kill them with the law of his mouth, basically. Basically, all we need is for our righteous society to go forth, and Esau will vanish, because he will have to pay for all the crimes that he's committed. So all we want is this righteousness to be established throughout the earth, and that alone will rid our enemies, man. Go ahead, read that.
It says to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people.
Yeah, to take away the right from the poor of his people. He has the right to pursue freedom and liberty and things of that nature. But if we try to exercise our right in the scriptures, we get condemned. We are considered the bad people. We are considered the bad guys. If we talk about the righteousness of the scriptures, or a male and a female procreating, we get looked at as the bad guys. So there's no righteous judgment. Give me Habakkuk the first chapter real quick, Baba Kasha. There's no righteous judgment being issued or dished out here in America. They write unrighteous laws and unrighteous decrees. They mandate you to do things that's against the scriptures, man. Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk 1:1.
Yep.
The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see.
Yep.
O Yahweh, how long shall I cry and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence and thou wilt not say.
Go ahead.
Why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention.
Yeah, we're forced to behold grievances and wickedness. And spoiling are before us. They are those that rise up strife and contention. So we gotta watch these devils on C-SPAN contract these evil and unrighteous decrees and write these laws, and they have the power to implement these things, man. Meanwhile, the power was ripped from our hands. Pursuant to the curse, there should be no power in our hands, right? If Esau wants to come take away your kid, he's gonna come take him away. There's nothing you can do, right? If your kid get out of line, you're not allowed to spank them, and if you do, he gets taken away. There's nothing you can do when the Bible tells you not to spare the rod, right?
This is from the comment board, GMS Spiritual Arc, Ecclesiasticus 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Jumping down to verse 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings injuries and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Yeah. Right. So when you look at the earth like a business, right? The earth is profitable, right? Because what does it produce? It produces gold, it produces silver, vitamins, minerals, meats, fruits, vegetables, water, grass, wood to build houses, cotton to build clothes. Well, it's a business. It's a business, right? Well, you got to put in a CEO, all right, that's going to turn a profit. And when you consider the people that are in power, with their power, they fail to produce a profit. And so much that they're damaging the earth, right? They're creating oil spills, and they're putting chemtrails in the sky, and they're telling you that you can't fish without a permit. So they're controlling, they're monopolizing the earth, right? They're stopping you from doing it.
Khan, it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such is one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. And then it says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Go back. Habakkuk 1 and verse 4. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded.
Yeah, the law is slack and wickedness doesn't go forth, man. And wrong judgment proceeded. So you gotta it's his case. I don't know if he goes to Philly. I don't even know the guy. I think he was a former football player. He was dealing with this woman. The guys came to his house or whatever, and he tried to break in his house, and he had put them to death. But when you go into the law of the scriptures, that's a lawful thing. The scriptures say if a man breaks into your house, or a thief breaks into your house in the nighttime and you kill him, you know, you're supposed to get off. You know, so the Heavenly Father has laws that are righteous, right? But these devils won't abide by this, man.
Yes. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Right. And now it goes into how they attack the righteous, man. How they make us a prey for being righteous. When you go through your life or your walk or your journey or whatever, you know, you ain't out here committing sin and robbing and stealing and selling drugs and things of that nature, but we catch the most hell because it's a spiritual thing, though. Go ahead, bro.
He is upbraided. No, so I gotta start from the top. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings.
Yeah, that's why you receive those issues and those problems, because
With the doors on, fuck the windows down. They got the whole doors on.
Yeah. They think Grand Theft Auto. They get 4 deep in the Jeep. Yeah, 4 deep in the Jeep. Go ahead, bro.
He said, he's contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law.
Yeah, so what do? We come out and say, look, y'all going off. Y'all did this, y'all did this, y'all did that, y'all do this, y'all do that. Y'all planning to do this to our people, right? Go ahead.
And objected to our infamy,
Go ahead.
the transgression of our education.
Keep going.
He professes to have the knowledge of God, and he calls himself the child of the Lord.
Right, that's what we out here professing.
Yeah.
We're professing that we have something that's beneficial to you, which is the truth, which is knowledge and wisdom, which is what you need to obtain, which is what you would need to obtain salvation, which is basically the end goal here, right? And we profess to be the children of the Heavenly Father. We are the Israelites. We come with the sign. We tell our people, we are the Israelites, right? This is what they say. Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yeah, he was made to reprove us, obviously, because if we're the children of the Heavenly Father, and we say you're the children of the devil, we're contrary, we're opposites, right? Continue on.
He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Yeah, they don't like the look of us. They don't like they can't stand to be in our presence, man. And they feel it too when you walk by them. It's a spiritual battle, you know. It's a spiritual battle, right? Go ahead, bro.
He says, 15, he is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's.
Go ahead.
His ways are of another fashion.
Go ahead.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
When do we call them? We call them frauds, right? You guys say that you guys are the children of Israel, and what did we say? We said, no, you're frauds, right? You guys boast about your dollar, and what do we say? It's counterfeit. It's not backed by nothing. You guys boast about your superiority, and what do we say? That you're inferior, right? Go ahead, bro.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
Yeah, and what's that? What is his ways? Homosexuality, eating pork. They want to put bacon on everything, right? Right? Women's rights. Women's are above men, right? Your ways are filthy, man. You want every year you want to dress your kid up like a goblin or a witch or a warlock and send them to strangers' house to get candy after telling them not to take candy from strangers. Your ways are weird to us. You know, we don't mix. We don't go with you guys. You want us to tell our kids some fat white niggas gonna come down the chimney and give them toys, and you want us to put a goddamn Christmas tree inside of our house, but the scriptures tell us not to do that. You know, you want to tell us Easter. This is every year. It's a cycle of madness, of madness. All right, of everything contrary to the scriptures, and you're the same people that call yourselves Christians. Go ahead.
It says, he pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High power is his Father.
Right, and this is what we do. Because the scripture said, I was jealous of the wicked. I was jealous of the wicked.
Psalm 73.
Psalm 73. Roughly paraphrase. You grab that real quick.
I got you.
But he said, hey, when I saw the ending of it, I was like, damn. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yep, Psalm 73 and 17. It said, until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then I understood their end. Thank the one. Oh, yeah, so at the top. Oh, then shall the righteous man. Oh shit! I mean, Wisdom Solomon 5. Somebody get it.
You said Psalm 73, right?
Psalm 73.
All right, Psalm 73, starting at verse 1. Yep, truly Yahweh Ba'al Shai is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, and covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than a hungry wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongues walking through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High?
Okay, these are secret councils that they hold. They speak lawfully concerning oppression. Esau got what's his devil's name? He's a so-called Jew.
Yuval Noah Harari?
Huh?
Yuval Noah Harari?
No, he's a damn devil.
Yeah, that's a devil right there.
Fuck it. But but they the way that they speak about Jacob's oppression and the way that they have the world, the food, basically the status that we're in is basically solely because of ourselves. That's them speaking lawfully concerning oppression, man. Ben Shapiro, that's him. Like he's real convincing. He's real convincing in trying to make it seem like the condition that we're in is just based off of ourselves. But no, there's more to it. Would you say Mitch McConnell? Our reparations came in the form of Obama. Yeah, that's them speaking lawfully concerning oppression.
Did you see the one with him and Joe Rogan? Him and
Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Joe Rogan got into him. So yeah, basically he put him on the spot. Everything that we would say, of course he ain't using scriptures, but just to use common sense. He basically what you were saying, he was saying like, well, we ain't put a gun up to their head and make them kill each other and things like that. But Joe Rogan was like, well, how did the guns get there?
But
that goes into, you know, they speaking lawfully concerning our oppression.
Even that strong drink that they gave us to our people, and they point out people that laugh at their nakedness. That's what happened in the second chapter. It says, verse 12. It says, behold, these are the ungodly, prosper in the world, they increase in riches. Verily I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocence. For all the day long I have been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. And when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. until I went into the sanctuary of Yahweh Shemel Shah, then understood I therein. Surely thou didst set them in a slippery place, thou castest them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one waketh, so, O Yahweh, Shemel Shah, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. Thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant, and I was a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand. Thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterwards receive me to glory. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides thee.
So when you're growing up and your mom will ride through the suburbs, you look at these big old houses, and you see yards, you see the garage got basketball courts, and they got swimming pools in the back, and it's so peaceful. And you look at their lives, and you be like, damn, they living it up. They don't have no issue.
Never always be spirit,
Yeah.
especially as a child.
Yeah. And you like, then you go back to your neighborhood, and there's trash everywhere, right? It's garbage. But look, here's the deal. The story was written out that these people that are living it up now, you know, they're going to be brought low. Right. And us being brought low, I had to tell my wife this because we catching all kind of hell like per usual. But at the end of the day, this is meant to be fun, man. Right. All right. If our end is to be good, that must mean this has to be bad. That's the way the Heavenly Father works, man. In order for you to receive that kingdom, you got to go through that hell, man. You know.
I said I got the parable of Lazarus and the rich man.
Go ahead, brother.
So Luke 16:19, it said there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen. So there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus which was laid at his gate full of sores, and a desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked the sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and you are tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they would...
Well, it's a story of one guy that was rich, right? Yep. And there was another one that was poor. He was a beggar. He would ask of the rich man. There was a rich man, right? And then another man that was a poor man. And the poor man would beg the rich man, right? And then it comes, as time came to pass, the roles were reversed, man. So that's what's going to happen. The Heavenly Father is going to... Give me Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1, Brother Bishop. The roles are going to... Hey, there's that saying, ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. Right now, he got the gun, man. He has the power. He has the Second Amendment. He has the Army. He has the military. He has the CIA. But guess what? The roles are going to be reversed. And they're hell-bent on stopping... Their actions are basically go towards preventing this from happening, man. It's preventing prophecy it's preventing the rise of the great Messiah, if you will, right?
I say Psalms 2 when they say the heathen rage, imagine the vain thing. Yes. And when you read that it's really talking about they think they could cut off the people of the Lord and stop the Lord from coming back, and, like you're saying.
Absolutely. Yep. What I call for Isaiah 14?
Isaiah 14 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
For the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captive, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Complete role reversal. A complete, what's that, not a 360 or 180. About faith.
Yep.
Changing places. It says they should take them captives whose captives they were, and they should rule over their oppressors, man. So we're gonna have the opportunity to rule over the people that are oppressed us, to give unto them double according to what they have done unto us, man. Oh, that's the spirit of the Heavenly Father. Eye for eye, you know, tooth for tooth. What goes up must come down, man. You reap what you sow. You get out what you put in. You know, if you thought that the white man was just going to rule the earth like this in terror forever and nothing was going to come back, you sadly mistaken. There was actually a comedian who said like he don't mind going back in time being a so-called white man, but in the future he don't want to see that. He don't want to go in the future because he said you guys got to know we're going to get fucked up for the shit that we did. You have to know that, man. And right now you have this spell, this magic spell, all right, over the world, okay, that you convinced everybody that you're this leave it to Beaver and you're this nice guy, right? But you know, the end is coming, man. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing when Yahweh Shemel Shah to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Yeah, seeing it is a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. It's not a bad thing, right? Esau understands this. He just don't want you to understand. He know that. Look, hey, remember 9/11? He knows that. He knows what happened in the past. He knows that what happened in the past directly affects today, and it will affect. And today affects the future. He understands this. He understands not to forget, never forget Pearl Harbor, never forget 9/11.
They actually have a new Holocaust museum coming to Cambridge, and if you read the comments, you actually got people in the comments saying like, damn, how many times are we going to keep being reminded of what went on during the Holocaust? Where's the museum for the transatlantic slave trade, and where's the museum for this? So it's like, you know, we really don't need another one of those museums. Just want to add that in there, like.
Verse 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us, and when the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Yeah, so now it's a patient thing. You that are troubled, you know, rest with us. What we're doing is we're waiting patiently. All right, we're waiting to receive that power and to receive the green light. I read the scripture earlier. The Lord said, if this was my kingdom, my servants would fight. Right? But what were we waiting for? What are we preaching? We're preaching about the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And each and every passing day, with each prophecy, we're gearing closer and closer and closer toward that, man. In which Esau is going, and not just Esau, the rest, anybody that goes against the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to have to pay the piper. You will get in line. You will understand firmly as to what the scriptures were saying. You will be a believer in that day. Every knee shall bow. You will see the power of the power and the might of the Heavenly Father, and it's going to be clear to you who was his chosen. Like he said, he's going to let the world know who he loved all along, man. The truth will be declared to the whole entire world, and there will be no debate about it. We ain't going to debate this and debate that. You will know without a shadow of a doubt what it is. You need to know. Right? You know? Anybody got anything else? Go ahead, bro.
Lamentations 4:21.
Yep.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom,
Yeah.
that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Yeah, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz. Right? The cup also shall pass through unto thee. What cup? The cup of slavery. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 4. Bible Kashaf. Because the scriptures talk about the curses that befell underneath the children of Israel for forsaking the law. But after we serve our sentence or our bid or our captivity, if you will, it says that those same curses were going to in turn go on to our adversaries. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
37, yep, I got you.
30,
This is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7.
Yep. Go ahead.
I'll start off. Start at verse 5. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah will bring thee to a land which thy father possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Well, that land itself, more Israel, right? Go ahead.
It says, and the Lord thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul that thou mayest live.
So the circumcision of the heart is us having the laws, statutes, and commandments that'll be placed on inward parts, causing us not to never go off forgiveness, right? So therefore, getting rid of the curses that will fall on Israel, right?
And this is verse
Also
7.
the sacrifice, right? So you're gonna have sacrifice in the kingdom, but not a sacrifice for the sins of the nation of Israel. Why? Because Yahweh was that ultimate sin, the law we put in our inward parts, so we won't go off no more. We'll be a nation of king and priest. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
Yeah, so Esau, the Edomite woman, is gonna be the new nigga woman. And she's gonna hate her husband, man. They're gonna be butting heads. You know, we're gonna come in, yeah. Esau gonna have to pay child support. Let's say something, but you know, Esau gonna be on child support, right? We're gonna be having inspectors going in, you know, inspect the houses and make sure everything is everything. We're gonna come, yeah. That's it. But those curses are gonna be upon you, man. They're gonna look at each other with hatred. You know, this Edomite versus that Edomite, gangs and things of that nature, killing each other, and you know all that BS that's on us. That's gonna go on in our adversaries. You know, hey, and that's gonna be fun. You know, that's how the Heavenly Father set it up, man. There's always got to be, it's a balance, and in righteousness there's wickedness, and it's gonna be judges that's gonna be set up to beat people upside the head.
Order has to be established.
Yeah, order has to be established, man. What are you going to be a judge for? What are you going to be judging? You're going to be judging matters. A rod, what did the scripture say?
I got you.
A rod of iron? Yeah, is it two? What do you, like a rod of iron, that's power, man. And not just power, but power to execute authority, which is the Lord's judgment. And the beauty of it is that the fact that we're here, that we can't execute the Lord's judgment. So we're salivating at the fact that, you know, we have an opportunity to execute the Lord's judgment. What is that in Psalms, where it says a sword in a double-edged sword? Psalms 149? It's been a while since we read that. Go ahead, bro.
Revelations 2:25.
Yep.
But that which ye have already hold fast till I come.
Yep.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Yeah, power over the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Yeah, the reason why you rule with a rod of iron, because when you make a law, you got to make a consequences for breaking the law, and you got to make an example out of people that break the law. So public lynchings was an example as to what not to do. Or in our case, in our customs, there was a public stoning. You know why? Because you wanted to enforce the law, but you also wanted to instill fear into anybody else that was thinking about breaking the law. That's how you establish power and control. Go ahead.
Verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
Yeah, with a hammer you bang stuff. With a gun you shoot. You know, that's the purpose. There's not gonna be no misunderstandings about what it is that we do. We're not gonna hide power. It's not gonna be a secret council or a secret meeting, or you know, it's gonna be known who's in control. Right? Go ahead.
Even as I've received of my father.
Go ahead. Read what you got, brother. Psalm?
Yep. This going to the point, or
no, read it all. We'll get to the point.
All right. This is Psalms 149, verse 1. It says, "Praise ye the Lord, and sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints." It says, "Let Israel rejoice in him that made him, and let the children of Zion be joyful in their king." It says, "Let them praise his name in dance, and let them sing praises unto him with timbrel and harp. For the Lord take pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation."
Hey, that's beautiful, because we started off like talking about how we received the short end of the stick, and how basically we gotta be patient. But there's gonna be a time which the Heavenly Father is gonna beautify the meek. That's why the Lord said, "Blessed be the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So we gotta go through this phase and be patient, and then in due time, rewards come. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "For the Lord take pleasure in his people, he will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory, and let them sing out loud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh Bashim Shah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, and to bind their kings with chains and the nobles with fetter of iron, and to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord.
Yeah, to execute upon them the judgment that's written, and that's an honor. I can't explain, especially for me, how much of an honor it is to have a two-edged sword in your hand and to go through and to be able to execute, to smite utterly old and young, maid and whatever spirit or soul comes up against Yahweh Shai. When he gives that green light, what he say? But those that were not, that I should rule over them, bring my enemies, bring them hither and slay. That's like an honor for that. Can you imagine Yahweh Shai saying, yo, go snatch him up and take his head off? You know, that's an honor, and you should pray vehemently for that, man. Day in and day out without ceasing, that the Heavenly Father blesses you to be a part of his army, man. To be a part of his military, like King David was doing, like Judas, and Mattathias, and Samson, and great warriors of our nation that fought for the salvation of our people, man. Hey, so with that, man, I hope you pray that was edifying. We want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles. Peace, love, and sanctity to the Bayaf Wadah. To them we say Shalom. 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 Shalom.